Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well, having a good week so far. Oh, man. You ever make coffee and like the filter gets messed up and then like you get like coffee grounds like in the I got coffee grounds in my coffee, and I mean, screw it, I don't care. So if you see like a little black spot on my teeth, that's what that's what happened. So yeah. uh yeah, so a lot of you might be wondering, I mean, I did, if you hadn't seen my community post, a lot of you guys might be wondering why my live from yesterday was put on private. And I played a quote unquote interview with Sam the Adventure Man, who's a former member of Adventures with Purpose. And he was very candid in the way that he spoke. And now I realize why he was so candid. And I'm not to say that he wouldn't have been had he known the circumstances of which he was being spoken with. But I gotta say, canceled Karen, you never cease to, you know, I mean, you always come through when it comes to you. Um, I I think that you're a disgusting human being. I've thought that you were a disgusting human being for a long time. To record someone without their consent and without their knowledge, and then put it out, is beyond disgusting. And had I known that at the time, because this is the thing, is what happens is when I do a live stream, I look over my chat because I might be looking at the camera. I might not be looking at chat. I might be looking at an article that I'm reading and I can't see the chat and whatnot. And so I go back and I look at my chat. I like to double check, see if there's something that maybe one of my mods may have missed. I just like to be safe. And it's a good thing that I did, because I saw a comment where Sam, graced our chat, and I'm grateful for that with his presence. And and I missed this comment. I saw the comment that he left right afterwards, which was "Yep," and then I was like, "Oh, Sam the Adventures Man's in here. This is great." And he was really nice. He didn't seem to really mind, but I did miss his first comment, which said that he did not have any knowledge that he was being recorded. He did not give consent to be recorded. He thought he was just having a private conversation with a YouTuber and probably setting up for a interview. And by the sound of it, I don't think that he agreed to do an interview. I don't think that he planned on agreeing to do an official interview. And that's probably why she she thought that she saw an opportunity and decided to record it and release it, which is low as hell, and disgusting. And so, out of respect for him, and he probably doesn't mind that I had it up. I mean, he was in my chat and he seemed okay, but still, out of respect for him, I took the live down. I privatized it. Now, if he were to message me and say, "Hey, it's fine, you could put it out there," and you can, then I'll unprivate it and leave it out there. But since I had not heard from him, just to be on the safe side, just out of just sheer respect, I made it private. So if you guys are wondering why part 1 is not available to watch at this point, that's why. I do not condone that in any way, shape, or form. And had I known that, I would have never reviewed it and gone over it. So I want to publicly apologize to Sam the Adventure Man for that. I am truly sorry. I did not know that until I looked over my chat this morning. So, well, Sean Pellegrino, it was not an interview. It wasn't an interview. I refuse to call it an interview. I mean, I called it that yesterday because that's what I thought it was. But what it was a shady recorded conversation without his knowledge, and that's disgusting. And and then she has the nerve to play victim, and act like she's shocked because Ray Andriacchio is suing her for $10 million. She's shocked that her original YouTube channel was taken down. These are the kind of things that she does. And this is why her YouTube channel was taken down. And this is why she's being sued for $10 million, because she's a person of extremely low character. And it's disgusting. It really is. It's absolutely disgusting. And I wish all of the horrible things in life to happen to her. I hope that she loses this case, which I know that she will. I hope that she's in debt to Ray Andriacchio for the rest of her life. I hope that she is sued by everyone else that she's ever wronged. And I hope that she just spends the rest of her life paying debts that she can never afford to cover. I truly hope. I hope, just like Morgan Freeman in the end of Shawshank Redemption. I hope. Yeah. So, yeah. Canceled Karen. You fucking suck. You're a fucking terrible person. Seriously. And she was yes manning herself too. She was so proud of it. Yeah, Mike M. She was so proud of it. And it was fucked. And it sucks because I hate having to private it because it was such a fun stream, because I enjoyed making fun of her in the process. But, leave it to her to do something that's beyond making fun of and just something to be disgusted by, just leave it to her to do that. She never fails. So yeah, I hope all of the bad, horrible shit in life happens to her and only her. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Somebody was mentioning Laura earlier. Laura. I was in Makeup Mobsters chat yesterday. She was going over a stream that I did. Or actually, no, she was going over a stream that Laura apparently did where and she was going over one of my streams. And yeah, they're two peas of the same pod. They're two peas of the same pod. Laura is, let me tell you about Laura. I think Laura's I think Laura's the only person on the planet whose sex toys go flaccid at the sight of her. Laura has to get her own sex toys drunk. Oh my god. Fuck Laura. Laura sucks. So anyway, sorry, looking at chat here. And I came across an article. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Give me a second. Do I remember Mystical? That song's all stuck in my head. Shake your ass, but watch yourself. Shake your ass. Show me what you're working with. I came here with my dick in my hand. Please don't make me put my foot in your ass. Be cool. Hold on. Here we go. I got it. Give me 1 second. Very interesting article here. Yeah. Yeah, folks. The U.S. Sun, I know it's an ass wipe. It's pretty it's a tabloid, but they speak the truth once in a while, and I think they're speaking the truth here. And And I can't see chat right now, folks. So, like, if I miss any comments or super chats or anything like that, I apologize. So the Sun here, an exclusive. I'm innocent. Kylie Rodney boyfriend has provided alibi to cops, but is still receiving death threats over unfounded murder theories. Huh? You hear that, Zav girl? Shut the fuck up. Kylie Rodney's on-off boyfriend has provided an alibi to cops, but is still receiving vicious death threats amid wild and unsubstantiated murder conspiracies online. The U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal the 16-year-old disappeared after an end-of-school party in Truckee, California, and was found almost 2 weeks later in her submerged car in Prosser Reservoir. And then there's Jagger appearing on Fox, and there's Kylie, rest her soul. And it goes on to say web sleuths have been circulating rumors of foul play for weeks since her death and have been speculating her boyfriend Jagger Westfall could have been involved. Nevada County sheriffs told the U.S. Sun on Tuesday, early in the investigation, our detectives made contact with Jagger Westfall. Now, pay attention. I'm going to read that one more time. Nevada County Sheriff. That is the law enforcement agency that is now in charge of the investigation involving Kylie's demise. So, Nevada County sheriffs told the U.S. Sun on Tuesday, early in the investigation, they quote, our detectives made contact with Jagger Westfall. Early in the investigation, people, pay attention. After a detailed interview, he was ruled out as a person of interest. Ruled out as a person of interest, people. Okay? Jagger didn't do anything. Shut the fuck up. It goes on to say the accusations began after the volunteer dive group, Adventures with Purpose, who found Kylie's car using sonar technology, spoke to an unnamed witness. The man claimed in a YouTube video to have helped Kylie with her vehicle and described her being with the teen who fitted Jagger's description after he appeared on the local news. Translation, AWP spun a narrative in order to get views on their YouTube channel, in order to promote their YouTube channel, and to make disgusting amounts of money while pimping a tragedy. Okay? That's basically what that says. It's not quoting. That's just my interpretation of what that says. He alleged he couldn't remember what day he helped the couple, but claimed it may have been the morning after she was last seen alive at the party near Truckee Family Campground. The witness did not disclose what company he provided roadside assistance for, and his claims have never been verified, with no CCTV or other witnesses coming forward. The U.S. Sun can now confirm Jagger 18. Hold on. Before I continue with that, I'm going to read that one more time. The witness did not disclose. That's the tow truck driver, guys. He did not disclose what company he provided roadside assistance for, and his claims have never been verified, with no CCTV or other witnesses coming forward, meaning he's full of shit. That is how I'm taking that. That dude is 150% full of shit. And I believe that AWP put him in the video in order to create a more dramatic effect to make their video more entertaining, throwing Jagger under the bus without naming his name. The U.S. Sun can now confirm Jagger 18 has voluntarily spoken with law enforcement and provided proof of his movements during the time Kylie disappeared. A source exclusively said Jagger was in Napa Valley until 8 a.m. on that Saturday. He didn't get back to Truckee until noon and then joined the search to look for Kylie. So he wasn't even in the area, found out that his on and off girlfriend went missing, and immediately he volunteered himself to help search for her. There's a quote here. He was misquoted in an article saying that he was at the party with Kylie. He was never there. He now doesn't want to talk publicly. That is the Nevada County Sheriff representative speaking here. He goes on to say he has proof of him not being in the area and has spoken with police and the FBI and given them the information. Jagger has time and location stamps the night of the party and into the next day. The police are not interested in him. He is not a part of the investigation. People, Zav Girl specifically, shut the fuck up. The insider added that Jagger doesn't understand the hate and has to limit comments on social media as he continues to face unrelenting abuse from trolls linking him to Kylie's death, thanks to AWP's fucking video. It's a lot for him to deal with as a young teen, especially close to him, everyone close to him knows he wasn't involved, and he's trying to laugh it off, but it's tough as he's also grieving, they said. He gets direct messages, comments, tags, texts, and calls and emails all the time. Accusations, death threats, and people telling him to kill himself about everything you can think of. The source says Kylie and Jagger had split some time ago, but remained close and still regularly went on dates in the weeks leading up to her tragic disappearance on August 6th. Countless YouTubers have speculated about her death, and even the dive group used the title How We Found Kylie Rodni, Murder or Accident, as they also waded in on the rumors. And then it talks about the emotional tribute. There are also dozens of tweets and social media messages insinuating Jagger may have been involved and claiming he is lying about being away the night he went missing. The U.S. Sun has reached out to Nevada County Sheriff's Office for comment as Placer County is no longer dealing with the investigation. Jagger dedicated a post to Kylie and posted a tribute on his Instagram. Sorry about that. Not the get-together. This is Jagger's tribute on Instagram. Tribute on his Instagram. Stories after the teen's body was found. Kylie, I took this video without telling you. I knew that I needed to save that moment of holding you close at sunset. He captioned the emotional video. I'm going to live the way you would want me to live from here on out, the mourning boyfriend went on. I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to take care of your friends. I'm going to take care of your family, and I'm going to help anyone who needs it. Jagger also shared a harrowing message scrawled on his arm, which read, "Stay alive for me." The young teen's cause of death has not yet been confirmed. A toxicology report will also be carried out, results from which may take several weeks to return, sheriffs told the U.S. Sun. Asked about the autopsy report, law enforcement provided a statement that read, "The Nevada County Sheriff's Office does have possession of records responsive to your request. It should be noted, however, that the investigation is not complete and is considered ongoing at this time." Once the investigation is complete, the release will be pursuant to all privileges and/or exemptions that may apply. We expect the investigation review and redaction process to be completed by November 1st, 2022. So we're looking at least another month, people. At least. They added that if the records are still not available in 2 months, they will further advise the media of a new date that may be released. When pressed further on the time frame, a spokesman said the toxicology report, which has not come back yet, will be included with the entirety of what we will release when the investigation is complete and the records are ready for release. They added death investigations have varying investigative time components depending on the circumstances surrounding the investigation. It's not uncommon for final coroner reports to take 2 to 3 months to be ready for public release. Kylie's devastated family members released a statement shortly after her remains were identified and have never commented on the rumors Jagger was involved. While we accept the sadness cast under death's shadow, the rising sun shines light upon us, reminding us not to mourn our loss, but to celebrate Kylie's spirit and the gift that we all received in knowing her, wrote the family. Kylie will surely remain with us, even though we will not get her back. There are certain occasions when words fail. Perhaps this is why our human nature has given us art, dance, and music, which all are often more effective ways to connect us to each other and our rawest emotions. Kindly excuse us as we retreat and dance privately to life's song while we celebrate our daughter's spirit and heal our souls. Could it be any more clear, people? Could it be any more clear? And meanwhile, these irresponsible jackasses, and yes, I'm calling the members of AWP jackasses because they don't seem to give a shit about anybody who they're affecting, as long as their money keeps rolling in. That's all they seem to care about. They do not seem to care about how their actions have affected people like Jagger and Kylie's family. So, let's move forward here. And we're going to pick up. I'm calling Zav Girl out. Zav Girl's a piece of shit, too. She's the worst. Like next to these guys and next to Ryan Upchurch, in which I think Ryan Upchurch has even just gone, for the most part, quiet about this case. I'm happy with that. As long as he's backing off at this point, it's a question of how Icked Mail, Zanime, want to move forward and deal with him. That's their issue, and I support them 100%. But I have no reason to talk about Ryan Upchurch as long as he's not talking about crime cases, because he's completely irresponsible. He's completely irresponsible when he does so. But since he's being quiet at the moment, apparently, seemingly, then all I care about right now is calling out these AWP dickheads and Zav Girl's piece of shit ass. So
nobody's going to be injured, but it will eventually.
Don't advertise on Google Ads or Facebook before blocking click fraud with Pixies. Not a fun fact.
And I love how on Adventures of if you go look at their website, Adventures with Purpose, if you go look at their website, they specifically ask you to not skip through the ads. Like they're trying to milk every single cent. It's so funny. I've never even heard of a YouTuber going, please don't skip through the ads. They actually ask you to not do that. That is the greediest shit. It is the greediest shit. But let's listen to Chris McDumbass here. Kiss these guys' asses.
Rip apart.
Yeah, dude, you got to get an Airstream. You got to get an Airstream.
This is great because here's Chris McDumbass razzing these guys for not having an Airstream RV and telling them that, and razzing on them for driving a clunker. But that's because Jared's a cheap piece of shit who wants to save every single penny and collect every single penny and grift every single penny that he can, because it's all part of his poor image in order to collect more money. But fuck the comfort of the people that he that work for him. Fuck them, right?
And just wrap it with AWP and that because they put the astronauts in these things when they came back from the moon. So, but anyway, getting back to my thought process.
Yeah, listen to the guy bragging about the nice things that he has after he completely and totally just completely exploited Summer Wells, who is 6 years old and is still missing after more than a year. Yeah, like a year and a half almost. So yeah, way to go, buddy. We're proud of you, Chris. Fucking prick.
I think the more law enforcement agencies embrace this, and as I briefly share with you, I was just training in Albuquerque, New Mexico, the first ever homicide task force for the Native American women. There are 1,500 Native
And
American.
I apologize. We're gonna be listening to three guys suck their own dicks for let's see, for about an hour and 45 minutes at least, and more than that, because I'm going to be pausing and giving commentary like I'm doing right now. So apologies in advance, folks.
American women that have been murdered across this country on reservations. And this was the third of 4 classes. We got another one in North Dakota coming up in November. But I had the task force commander on my show a couple of weeks ago. And his name is Justin.
I had the task force commander.
Shut the fuck up.
And I used you guys in the classroom to this whole team of investigators. And I said, look, these guys, this is a perfect example of guys who come to the table with credibility. Okay? They have a track record. They've proven they're not, wackadoodle, as I like to say.
Wackadoodle.
Okay. They are actually working alongside families, and they'll work alongside you. Okay. And if we embrace this, that is a powerful tool, because not only do they have a following, and I said this, okay, but they have this tool set that they've successfully
I've got
mastered.
your powerful tool, you prick.
And 24 victims of who have been missing for years. What's the oldest case you have?
30. Carrie Mae Parker. She was missing for 30 years.
30 years.
Yep.
Yeah. And you would have also got Brian McKenzie too, obviously with Francis.
Don't insult Casey Kasem
And
like that.
I'm still very close to her, but you couldn't get into that other pond where they ultimately found him. It was on private property in there, and I remember that. So, you would have actually had 25. Okay. But so we'll go with the 24 now, and then, LE, but I know you met with those guys, Stanford up there in Jackson. You
they were
sat
great
down
to
with.
work with. Yeah, both. Yeah, the law enforcement as well as the local dive team and volunteer fire department.
Yeah, they're great guys, and that's
The hoity goity.
I hope
you got it, Road
that
King.
more LE will embrace, with folks such as yourself who have proven themselves that, hey, this is what we do, this is how we do it. We got a track record, et cetera, and then everybody can say,
this is what we do, this is how we do it. We exploit people, we pimp tragedies, we take victims and don't give a shit about them, but use them in order to make a bunch of money so we can ride around in our airstreams, or whatever the fuck you call our astronaut RVs.
say, okay, well, you guys do it. And if you get something, let us know, turn it over. And that's what you do. You've been doing this for a long time. And so, kudos to you. And, hopefully we'll see more and more agencies.
I apologize for the way my speech sounds. It's hard to talk with AWP's dicks in my mouth.
Start to embrace it. And quite frankly, check your ego at the door. Not you guys. I'm just saying, LE needs to check the ego a little bit and say, hey, these guys did A, B, C, and D. And thank goodness they did.
So this guy, being a former law enforcement officer himself, is criticizing law enforcement. Like, are you fucking serious right now? What a dickhead.
Hey, one thing I want to drop, and I've not put that out there publicly, but I'd like to do so on your show tonight, just for some of those that might be on here that want to critique the way that we did it differently on this one. Is that we were really quick to actually put out a notice on Facebook this go around. Like, we've notified the family members that we had access to it, and we've notified law enforcement, and they were not even on scene yet as far as law enforcement. But there's a reason why we did that we left it out of the video, and we've never mentioned it publicly.
This should be Rich, because I happen to know why you did exactly what you did, despite what you're about to say. You did it because you were afraid that law enforcement would not give you credit. So you were quick to put that Facebook post up so that the world knew and could not dispute that you were the ones that found Kylie, because you are glory hound assholes.
But I had to address it with somebody privately that I had a good relationship with them, and unfortunately, I had to end that relationship because they didn't come to me. If you have a question, come to me and say, "Why did you do it this way this time instead of the way that you normally do it?" Well, what people didn't know and realize is that from time to time we have news agencies that are a fly on the wall. They're with us all day long. And in this particular case, we actually had the New York Post with us. That's why you see the New York Post was the very first one to go out there to the public. And you saw that Doug shut everybody's phones down. Well, he also shut down.
I find that funny.
He took their phone
because he's sitting there saying, "Well, the New York Post were the first ones out there." And no, dude, like the New York Post were the first ones, the first major media source to put it out there, and all they did was report on your post. That's what they did. They didn't say, "Hey, they found him, they found her." They said AWP just posted on their Facebook that they found her. So don't sit here and act like fucking they came out and blew you up. Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
From them and said, "You're turning that phone off now. You are not going with keeping this until we have 100% positive identification." And so we were a lot quicker to make our announcement sooner than we normally do, because is it better for us to control the narrative on it rather than we know how news agencies don't always get it right. And so that is why we beat them to the punch, because they were standing there with us side by side.
No. You did it because you wanted the glory and you were afraid law enforcement would get credit. Plain and simple, dude. You just admitted of you deliberately controlling the narrative. You just admitted that. But why you controlled the narrative is no excuse. You did it for clout and you did it for glory. Period. And unfortunately, there's too many stupid fucking people out there that believe your bullshit.
Died that day to make sure that we controlled
it. As well as 20 other media representatives that were on the other side of the reservoir. So it was, everything that you see on camera is what it is, but there's a lot that the public doesn't know, like what he just explained. There's a reason. There's like you said, this isn't our first time doing it, and we do it with integrity and respect and a lot of responsibility. And we go out of our way to mitigate any risks whatsoever, whether that's...
I apologize, guys. It's still going to be another hour and God knows how long before this dude blows his load. So he's just going to keep on sucking his own dick.
To our image, the family's image, or law enforcement image. So, it was done very professionally, and then there's just...
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
And, it's success. And, the recent results that we've been able to produce over the last few years, and they're going to always overshadow anything else anybody else has to say.
Yeah, no, the results always speak for themselves, right? And, there's always going to be somebody or something that's going to, Monday morning quarterback. I mean, just, welcome.
And I tell you what.
Yeah,
and I tell you what, we love criticism, fair criticism, because what's happening if it's fair and if it's legit? We're learning.
Oh, what are you learning from this? I'm curious to know, because, I'm a little harsh, but there's nothing that I'm saying about you that's unfair.
We're building, we're growing. So that we have, if it's legit criticism, bring it. Like we actually, we want that. So that way we can become better, but if it's not,
like right now, I have some criticism. This is Doug's computer and his, new live cam stream setup, and he doesn't know how to get this camera to quit blowing out. So
look, we could easily turn it
for you.
We could easily turn it.
Is that going to take care of it?
Oh, yeah, if you turn it all the way around, it's the backdrop.
It is what it is.
It's the backdrop.
I love it.
But yes, but like Doug said, I'll take it aside. We are always learning, and real criticism we don't mind. The trolls that are straight up trolling us, we don't even respond to it anymore.
No, this is not. This is not an interview, Mia Borling. This is a circle jerk.
Doesn't make a bit of difference, and we've learned to have extremely thick skin, and it is what it is.
Yeah, we're focusing positives and helping families, and that's all we're focused on. The rest we don't care about. We're going to always continue to keep it moving forward and do wonderful things in the world.
Amen. And you know what? That's the clarity of focus. You don't have to look in the rearview mirror. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting better at doing it, because to your point, you're going to keep learning.
Keep doing what you're doing. Make sure not to forget me, so I can keep getting you guys on panel and keep making my live streams members and subscribers only, so that I can make a bunch of money and I can fucking exploit you guys the way that you exploit victims.
We all learn. I mean, just there's an old saying: "Who's the fool himself, or the fool who follows?" Okay, and so you know what? You guys, in my book, you're top shelf in my book, because
top shelf.
I've watched you guys, run with this whole idea. And Jared, you and I had some personal talks on this stuff about what your vision was when this all started, and I was like, "Go." Did I not say just go, man? You're gonna make it happen.
You've seen this thing grow,
dude. The egos here is killing me. Like this guy is literally trying to get credit for what the fuck these guys do. It's so funny.
Over the last couple of years, for sure.
Yeah, and you've done it. You guys are now doing it.
Remember, I was the one that told you guys.
People have to step back. And this is kind of like that growing pain, right? You're in this place where, I remember one time I'm just going to give you an anecdote. I'm sorry, forgive me up front, but I had a caper where it was horrific.
This motherfucker just said caper.
I came out of this
Who the
crime
fuck
scene,
says caper?
And all I had was a transfer on the wall. And my boss...
I worked on this caper. See?
And I looked up, and there were 13 satellite trucks.
Thank you,
this was before technology had advanced. And my boss looked at me, he says, "What do you have?" And I said, "Nothing." And he was like, "What do you mean nothing?" I said, "We have nothing, absolutely nothing." And you know what? There's a lot of growth that comes with that idea. And you started with that idea that says, you know what? I'm just going to start looking for stuff. And then that progressed into, I'm going to start looking for cars. And then that progressed in, I'm going to start looking for people missing in cars. Okay. And now you're at this point where you guys have found.
Let me correct you there, Chris McDumbass. What happened was they were looking for cars, and that was somewhat lucrative. They accidentally found a body in one of the cars, and then they got a shit ton of views on that video and thought, let's start looking for bodies. Let's exploit missing people. That's exactly what happened.
A national, international story case. And here's the big news. And Doug, you did it. You delivered. Loose lips sink ships.
What?
And people don't understand that principle, right? Because you have a responsibility, the people that called you in on it. You fulfilled that.
You mean like...
Because now you also have dealt with those different dynamics, and I know...
You mean like the loose lips where they use their loose lips to suck their own dicks on literally every fucking grifting panel of every grifting channel on YouTube? Yeah, kind of like that.
Nick is processing some stuff. I can only imagine, being this was his first time, and wow, what a way to get baptism by fire.
YouTube doesn't give Emmys out because Nick would deserve that if he did.
Right? It's huge. And so he's going to deal with some stuff internally and grow like you guys have as you've gone through this. And you know what? People are going to say what they're going to say, but at the same time, here's the bigger news. Going forward, I think law enforcement is going to pay attention. That's going to be my prediction.
I can say overall, law enforcement across the country, for the most part, majority love us to death. We've spoken recently with some of the biggest law enforcement agencies in the entire nation, and they are behind us 100%. They're reaching out whenever they can. with questions on how to better their systems, or whether it's the talking with the FBI about things that I cannot discuss right now. But there's a lot of, like you said, the results are opening a lot of eyes, but there's a lot of states and agencies that are wanting to know what we're doing, how we're doing it, modeling what we're doing. Yep. And it's a big learning experience, and they're adapting.
This motherfucker has the balls to sit up here and say that other people who do what they do are modeling what they're doing. No, dude. There are other organizations that are doing the same shit that you're doing and have been doing it. So I don't want to hear that shit. You don't get to take credit for other people doing the same shit that you're doing after, like, they've been doing it forever. What the fuck are you talking about?
To the idea of what it is we're doing and understanding what we're capable of. That's the biggest thing, because we do provide our services for free to families and law enforcement agencies, and knock on wood, we're good at what
it's easy to provide your services for free when the whole world is fucking dumping money all over your asses because you're saying that you're poor and you need more equipment, which you don't spend your money on, according to Sam.
We do, and we're learning. Every case is different, every search is different, and by documenting it, everybody's watching it and everybody's able to learn from it as well. So it's a
learning from it. Yeah. They're definitely learning from it, and that's powerful. Hey, but anyway, I do need to get going with what I've got going on over here. Okay. Get Nick, and I'm going to bump him in here. And why don't you guys discuss? I know that some people are in here and they want to learn something new.
Sorry, Chris, but I got to jump off here. I got another 3 or 4 scams that I got in motion, and they require my attention at the moment. So peace. I'll see you later.
The cases that you're working on that they just came off of with new information that's not even been out there yet, they might be able to share with you, as well as he kind of touched on that whole FBI thing. I'll just say that there's some bombshell information on a case that we've been working on that we're going to revisit that case, and we're going to discuss that. And we have some what do they call that, confidential informants that are no longer informants, that we're going to have them on as well. That's really going to take this case to a new direction. But there's always that what if that information is not credible.
I love how he was like, she eyes, like like trying to brag that he's like former law enforcement and he knows the lingo, dude. Like, anybody who's ever watched a fucking episode of fucking SVU knows what a fucking CI is. But she eyes, she eyes.
Hold it. You just never know. Anyway, they can touch on that a little bit more. Chris, I appreciate
Jared. Thank you as always, buddy. And we're going to grab some more pizza and some donuts on me next time. The cop roll.
It sounds good. Let me bump Nick on, and thank you everybody else for being here and supporting everybody.
Send my best to your family, buddy.
Will do.
Yeah. So, Doug, while we're waiting for Nick to come in, let's see here. I'll wait for him.
He's coming. He's here. Oh, there he is.
There he is. Hey, buddy.
You can't
nice to meet you.
Here, should I put a hat on?
Where's your hat, man? It's all blown out here.
Up a little bit.
Yeah, it's really sunny. It wasn't sunny a little bit ago, but it's sunny now.
It's all good. It's good. You look fine.
Sorry,
look
guys.
good.
Sorry. Hey, we're out here in the sunshine.
And thank you. If you're over here from AWP, thanks for being here for these guys. They're awesome. They really are. And you two are.
Yeah, if you're over here, and thanks for being my subscribers now, and I get to grift off of AWP subscribers. So now you're in my chat, and now you're my subscribers because I set this to subscribers only, because I'm a greedy dipshit.
You're obviously the talk of the country, not only the country, I think the world, and what you've done. And, God bless you for doing it. Amazing stuff. And I know that, you've been going through some, well, you tell me. I mean, you guys tell me what you guys were feeling that day in terms of, and I don't want to, kick it around too much, but at the same time, I am.
They sure talk like they are, Lynn.
You know.
I just got a funny text. Sorry. But Lynn Jackson, yeah, they sure talk like they do, right? Yeah. And a bunch of the ones, a bunch of the things that they've recovered, that like they weren't even crimes. They weren't even crimes. These people don't solve crimes. Everybody's acting like these guys are crime fighters. They're not.
How you're feeling and how you got, how have you been adjusting since that day?
Man, this is it's tough stuff. It really is. It's extremely tragic, but we know what we're doing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he asking Nick that question, since Nick is the one that was diving in the water and found the car, or found Kylie in the car? Like, why did this guy jump in? All that tells me is that these guys just don't give a fuck about anybody.
We understand what it is that we're doing, but we're focusing on the effect. What is the effect? We're providing answers that no one else in the world has been able to provide. And in returning,
shut the fuck up, dude.
Somebody's loved one that never knew anything, and ending that nightmare.
Nobody else in the world can provide.
It's a positive thing that we're always focusing on, and not that it's perspective. Your perspective dictates life. It dictates character. Character dictates your decisions, all that other stuff and so forth. But it all begins and ends with perspective. We can make this as hard on ourselves, as we could, or we can make it as easy on ourselves as we can. And that's what we do. Our perspective, it begins and ends between our two ears, and, focusing on the positive. And, this being Nick's first one definitely is, it's his first one. And you could describe that.
Yeah, obviously, that was a very emotional.
Yeah, Nick, you found her in the car, and now you have my permission to speak. What a fucking asshole.
Day for me, and I think both of us in general, especially when we finally come to the conclusion that what we'd found underwater was in fact Kylie's car. And so to try to really put yourself in that moment, it's kind of a surreal feeling of a little bit of shock, anxiety, frustration. There's all kinds of emotions that are going through your head. But like Doug said, at the end of the day, when you accomplish something like that and confirm that that's the car you're looking for, and that it's potentially the missing person.
I keep seeing the same comment. They found the girl, Glairer. They found the girl. Like, I know they found the girl. Like, I know they did. Nobody's disputing that. But what they also did was create a narrative that is causing people like Jagger to get death threats. Lynn Jackson, please get out of my face with that bullshit. Like, this poor kid, he's 18 years old, just graduated high school, and he can't even be on social media because he's getting DMs of death threats and people telling him to fucking kill himself because these guys spun a narrative in their video that he was responsible for Kylie's death. That's exactly what happened. Make no mistake about that.
Missing person that you're looking for, it's better to have it known sooner than later that they're underwater and people aren't wondering for weeks, days, years in the future. So
yeah, okay, then shut up. Sorry, but shut the fuck up. Like, we know that they found the fucking girl. We know.
Focus, like Doug said, on the positive and the outcome that brings.
Yeah.
That's a good attitude, Nick. It really is. And go ahead.
It's all filler. It's what are you going to allow to build up inside of your cup? What are you going to allow to be poured into your cup? And that's what it comes down to. What parts of this are we allowing to fill our cup up with? And it's nothing but positivity, really.
Awesome.
It does take a lot of discipline But you know, we're always focused. We're not doing it loosely. And I speak with a lot of you know, law enforcement representatives such as yourself that have dealt with this type of stuff for decades. And you know, we're very in tune with, you know, what we need to do, and taking time and decompressing and you know, debriefing amongst each other. And that's one thing we really don't have to do is debrief, because we travel together. We're really close knit. We're talking the entire time. We're never quiet. And you know, when we're on our way to a case, and when we're seeing a case on the way to the next case, it's 100% Scooby-Doo mystery machine in there. We were 100 miles an hour. Everybody's brains going, feelings out.
Yeah, I couldn't have used a better analogy, dude. Yeah, you guys Scooby-Dooed that shit. But the difference is that you're probably wrong about it being you're probably wrong about it being foul play. More than likely, you're wrong. You were definitely wrong to put out that fucking interview with this random dude who claimed to have seen Kylie with a guy who fit Jagger's description, because now this Jagger kid can't even live an 18-year-old's life that he's entitled to. He's entitled to it because he earned it. The kid graduated from high school and he was not even in the area when it happened, and he loved this girl. And then as soon as he got back in town, joined and volunteered to help search for her. And you guys showed this kid no fucking respect.
Feelings out in the
Doug,
open.
I gotta get you, Doug. I got two things you got to get. You got to get a freaking Airstream, okay?
Oh,
and you
God,
have
dude.
to get a little Jack Russell mascot, like my buddy over here. I don't know where he's over on the floor over here. Jack Russells are nuts, but they'll go on the boats. They'll do anything with you, okay? And they drop that stress level and keep it at a PMA, a positive mental attitude, as you're pressing forward. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm pitching for an Airstream for you, brother. That's what I'm doing here for Jared. I hope he's listening. Pay attention, Jared. Go ahead.
Oh, he's always listening.
I can't stand this fucking
great
guy.
To have
dude.
a nice Airstream.
I'm
you know,
pitching for an Airstream, guys. For
Class-
Jared.
Yes, it would definitely hold up a lot better. Yeah. How many people do you have in here right now?
44, almost 4,500.
4,500.
Awesome.
Everybody in here that's watching this, like, look, we're not going anywhere. We're not going to cover any other topics until you hit the like button. Hit the like button, but only hit it once. But hit the like button.
What a
Make sure you
bunch
hit
of
the like button
assholes.
if you like what you're seeing, you like the topic, you like us being here, you love Chris. Hit the like button.
Wow.
Appreciate that very much. Okay, so enough of me. I'm more curious now. Your next mission here. You've got Jalissa Fuentes.
Airstream.
Yeah, break it down. Give us a little 411 on what you got going there. Or is there anything else that you want to say that I didn't ask you that you feel you want to put out there?
Oh, there's always so much. I think you're doing a great job. This is going great. We can jump right into Jalissa. Jalissa is, 600. Let's just start. Like 600,000 people go missing
Nice. And another victim that you get to fucking exploit
every year in the United States of America, according to the Department of Justice. Now, we know a majority of those individuals do end up turning up, but you have, let's just say 100,000 people every single year that are not found. Year after year after year, there's millions of people out there that have never been found. And, these platforms, such as yours, such as ours, we can never do enough work. Our voice could never be louder. Our opinions could never be louder, because the bottom line is there's always somebody out there that needs to be found. We're a voice for the voiceless. And we're fighting for somebody who
No, you're not.
Definitely can't fight for themselves.
No, you're not.
So what we're doing is
you're a voice for yourselves.
A beautiful thing, one of the most beautiful things in the world to me, because it's not talked about enough, and as tragic as it is, 22-year-old Jalissa Fuentes disappeared out of Selma, California. She's been missing for about 4 weeks now, and just tragically, her and her 2011 Hyundai Accent just vanished. She went to a gas station in the middle of the night, and that was the last time she was seen. There's a lot of circumstances that are still, left open for interpretation, but we know her vehicle is missing. She's responsible, educated, beautiful young girl that just vanished completely out of the character of her.
Yeah, I've got almost 500 people in here, so I need you guys to hit the like for me, okay?
She's known for, and us working that case, we were able to come in and rule out some bodies of water that the family and local law enforcement was worried about. The second we were done, they immediately announced a large-scale criminal investigation because they really do think that she's been abducted.
Yeah. Low risk victim. I mean, high risk situation in terms of the time of the
worried about her and what she's known for. And us working that case, we were able to come in and rule out some bodies of water that the family and local law enforcement was worried about. The second we were done, they immediately announced a large-scale criminal investigation because they really do think that she's been abducted.
So because I love how they're taking credit for that. This guy's basically sitting here saying because they ruled out certain bodies of water. Like, you think that it's just because of the bodies of water that you ruled out that they decided to make it a criminal investigation? No, that's standard for finding a missing person. Because not only did you search those bodies of water, but I guarantee you that search teams searched everything else that was not a body of water. And based on that, your search being a fraction of the entire search, that's why they decided to conduct a criminal investigation, if that's the case. So you don't get to take credit for that. Like, these guys, dude. Unreal, man.
Low risk victim. I mean, high risk situation in terms of the time of the morning, 4:06 a.m. That's pretty early at the AM, PM.
Yeah.
What?
Those are risk factors, and anytime you add those risk factors, no matter who you are as a person.
The fuck does that even mean?
4:30 in the AM. That's a high risk factor. 4:30 in the AM. AM, PM. What? It's fucking AM, dude. It's morning. What?
that enhances something. And enhances a bad situation. It increases the percentages of it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Out late at night, if there's any type of, this stuff. It's if you're going to be consuming any type of substances, you're increasing the percentages of something happen. If you're around certain individuals, you're increasing the percentages of something happen.
And I loved your victim.
I love how this guy says jack shit, but sounds like he knows what he's talking about. If you're around certain people, you're increasing the risk. Of course, yeah. If you're out fucking drinking, of course you're increasing the risk of something happening. Millions and millions and millions of people go out drinking every fucking night. Nothing happens to them. The fuck do you mean? Like, of course, that's in some way increases a risk. Sure. Like, what are you talking about?
Sit down with the family. I watched that where you kind of got to know, who this person is, right?
Yeah, I watched as you sat down with the family and most likely didn't tell them that you were recording and used it in your video for dramatic effect in order to gain subscribers and members so that you could fucking get more money.
And, it sounds like she lived with her grandmother. She worked in a nearby packing production house, if I remember right.
Yeah, a little produce place.
Yep, near and they live near Fresno. A good buddy of mine, Jerry Dyer, he used to be the sheriff up there in Fresno, and I think he's the mayor now up there. And anyway, so tell us what path you guys have gone down. I know you've searched her two favorite lakes, the Avocado Lake and the Pine Flat Dam. Is that right? Do I have that right, Nick?
Yep, we searched both those places, and we also there was another Kings River, which was in the nearby area, but that was more of a visual inspection. We walked up to the edge of the most likely place that she would have drove in, but it was too shallow, so the vehicle was not in those locations, and I'm confident that we cleared those, and we spent a lot of time at Pine Flat.
Interesting. So, I mean, I'd have to see it for myself, but basically what you're saying here is you're a dive team and you walked up to the edge of the body of water, looked and went, nope, she's not in there. Cool. Crispy Critter, welcome.
That lake and covered all the shoreline on the, I think that was the north side of the lake where the main roads and the boat ramps and the marinas are. And so, you know, there's that area is kind of some steep country in there. There's a lot of canyons and stuff driving up to the lakes. So we went off of info from local law enforcement on potential where her closest last cell phone ping was located, but it's hard to get an accurate location in terrain such as that. So we kind of actually searched a little bit farther out than what you would normally do on a normal cell phone ping. So
yeah, so there it sounds like there's a ping up there. What strategy do you guys, if you want to share it? I mean, I'll leave it up to you. You drive the conversation, but what did you have going in?
Yeah, so basically, whenever we come into a case, no matter what we think, no matter what we know, and no matter what facts we get from the police department, our main objective, we're there to serve the family first and foremost. So we go.
Yeah, right. The cops aren't sharing anything with you, dude. Like at most they're going, we searched here, we didn't find anything, maybe you'll have better luck. But they're not sharing details of an investigation with you guys. So cut the bullshit. Like there's nobody with any common sense that's going to believe that.
So we go over we're here to represent and help you and your family. What are you concerned about? What can we do to use our resources to alleviate anything that your hearts have been worried? That's always our number one goal when working with a family, because they all, this was a fresh case, but in our normal cold cases, these families have places that they've been worried about for years, and they've always had hunches, and they've always driven past this body of water and wondered if their loved one's been in it. So that's our number one goal whenever we work a case. So with that being said, Jalissa's family was obviously worried about Avocado and Pine Flat, and so were the law enforcement representatives that I was in communication with. I was in communication with the chief of police in Selma, the mayor, as well as Fresno County Sheriff's Department, who had all put in a little bit of work on the case previously. And those two lakes were just everyone's point of interest in this case because they were just question marks. They didn't have the resources in that area to, without a doubt, rule them out. They had been searched, but they were still, they weren't for sure, and based on the resource and our expertise, they wanted us to search those, and that way they didn't have to worry about them any longer. Typically, it's a 5-mile radius if we have an X factor. After you go over, like you just mentioned, the victimology, who is this person? Developing that profile, that lost person behavior profile. Who were they? Where they like to go? Places of frequency, relationships, where the friends, all these points of interest gives you an idea where you may or may not need to search. But typically in a city or a populated area, 5-mile radius around us, the X factor is a cell phone ping, or do we have a last known location, something like that to really give us a good high target area of 5 miles. Here in Selma, it's not that populated, and her cell phone was out in the hills. And according to the information that I had, the cell phone information was not accurate either. So there's really no accurate target area we could set up in this place. At that point you can set up 20 miles and, it's going to take, a long time to search that, so we have to be as efficient as possible with our time and our resource. So the Pine Flat Dam and Avocado were the main bodies of water. There was a few other little smaller bodies of water on private land. We were able to determine that they were in fact too shallow and so forth. But the biggest thing about this is we were able to rule out what they were concerned about near the cell phone ping. And what that means for the law enforcement now is, okay, we really do need to focus on an abduction. We need to really step this up to the next level, more awareness. And that's already been done. We need to really push this, nationally. And
yeah, I totally think that's Jared's goal overall. Because all these guys do is sell themselves. That's all they do. And their videos are if anything, trying to emulate like a TLC type reality show or an A&E type reality show. That's totally what they're trying to do. Like when I heard Cuck Church's theme song that he was playing with for these guys. Like, it was just a horrible, horrible theme song. Like, the Adventures of Purpose. Like, that's totally what they're going for. Like, I remember, like, Dog the Bounty Hunter. They got Ozzy to do his theme song, right? Dog the Bounty Hunter's theme song. Ozzy Osbourne did that theme song. And it's like the worst thing I've ever heard. You know that, like, they paid him a bunch of money, and he was just like, let's just get in the studio and just record something. I mean, for fuck's sake, man. Let's just go into the studio, fucking record something. I didn't give a fuck what it is. I don't give a fuck what it sounds like. Just give me a drink, man. Just, okay, play it one time. Play it one time. And, yeah, here comes the dog. It's not good. That's one take. That's all they need. Fuck them.
and so forth. And you know, thank God, you know, for platforms like yours and ours, we're able to push it too. And that's the paradigm shift that you're speaking about, is that, you know, we're utilizing social media platforms, number one, responsibly, professionally.
No, you're not.
To create positivity in the world, to do something good.
No,
that can't be done.
No, my friend.
Means for the law enforcement now is, okay, we really do need to focus on an abduct. We need to really step this up to the next level, more awareness. And that's already been done. You know, we need to really push this, you know, nationally and so forth. And you know, thank God, you know, for platforms like yours and ours, we're able to push it too. And that's the paradigm shift that you're speaking about.
No, you're pushing your channel, period.
Is that, you know, we're utilizing social media platforms, number one, responsibly.
No,
professionally.
No, you're not using it responsibly or professionally, or else you wouldn't have created a narrative that gets an 18-year-old kid who just graduated high school, whose on and off girlfriend is now dead, now getting him accused and getting him death threats. That's not responsible.
Professionally, to create positivity in the world, to do something good.
That's not creating positivity in the world. You're pimping tragedy. That's not creating positivity in the world, you dick.
Combined platforms here, we have more reach than the news. We have more reach than network television. So really, by us not doing this would be a disservice. So it's a wonderful thing.
Wow.
Really,
and this is great. This is great synergy. And what I've always loved about, you know, Jared and your team is you guys are not, and guys and gals, if you're listening from, you know, wherever you are in the world, these guys are the real deal. And
no, they're not.
I'm talking from a guy who's been, you know, 40 years in this profession and, you know, still training, you know, I mean, and man, I would have you in 5 minutes in a class. In front of a group of folks, and don't be surprised if you get a phone call one day, because you know that may happen.
We're always willing to share and help and you know, help others understand what we're doing, whether that's just a normal person like us, or it's
we're always down for an opportunity to hear the sound of our own voices.
Because at the end of the day, you know, we just want to help as many people as we can help, whether that's us helping them or somebody else.
Well, what makes your team and what separates you, okay, and what separates you from, you know, I don't even want to go there, but what separates you guys is the fact that you ask questions. I had a forensic anthropologist one day, a guy named Roger Hegler. He's out of San Francisco. I mean, this guy's world renowned, and we're doing an archaeological dig. It's a victim, right? Body dump. Long story short, he comes, and I've shared this a couple of times with my audience. He comes up with a bone, and I got a new guy standing next to me, and he goes, "Chris, what is this?" And he holds his bone up. I just kept my mouth shut, right? And he looks at the guy next to me, he goes, "What is this?" And he goes, "Oh, well, you know," and he gives him some answer, right, about the human.
Do you expect us to believe that you kept your mouth shut? No, you didn't.
Anatomy. And the doctor looks at him and goes, "Wrong." He goes, "It's a dog bone," right? And the lesson there for me was, okay, this was a really good thing to keep shut, okay, and to allow the experts to tell me what was going on. Okay, what I love about you guys is you come into a case and you say,
this should be rich.
We help. What don't we know? And I'm just thinking out loud, and you correct me if I'm wrong. And how do we make it better? Okay. And these are our strengths. These are our weaknesses.
So riddle me this, asshole. If these guys are so fucking professional and they know to leave to stay in their lane and do what they're supposed to do and what they know how to do, and let the professionals, the law enforcement agencies, stick to the investigations, why are they spinning a narrative that there's foul play when there's no evidence to indicate that there's foul play in the Kylie Rodney case? Riddle me that shit, Batman.
Our weaknesses, each of you have them. You've identified them.
Welcome,
as a team,
Nana of 7.
And that team approach now has become a synergism that the Kylie case was a perfect example of it all coming together in a very high profile situation. And, you know, good for you. Good for you. I'm sorry. I got sick from my granddaughter recently. So, you know, cheers to little kids, you know, anyway. Yeah, exactly. There you go. But, you know, that's what prior planning, as Vet Girl says, you know, prior planning, you know, and experience. You guys are angels. I mean, people love you, and they should. And law enforcement, I'm going to guarantee you, they're going to embrace you more and more and more.
You know, they really are.
Chris, no, they're not.
It's not. We don't flaunt it.
No, dickhead. They're not gonna embrace them more and more and more after they see how they have probably impeded on an investigation. If there was foul play, these guys didn't make law enforcement's job any easier by doing what they did with that video. I promise you that. I guarantee you that.
We're not out for that type of publicity. You know, we're really humble. We the more we do, the more humble we get, and I think that says a lot about what it is.
No, you don't get more humble.
Just really want to help, but law enforcement is.
So let me get this straight. Your definition of more humble, the more this goes on, the more popular you get, you become more humble. Then why are you louder and louder and showing up on more and more YouTube panels to promote yourselves and basically discrediting law enforcement and blowing yourselves up if you're so fucking humble? Get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
Enforcement has been amazing. And you can ask Nick, like the last trip we went on was Nick's first trip. And everywhere we went, we're not even working cases. We're in transit. We can't stop without law enforcement that's just on their beats, pulling in, you know, they're wanting pictures. They're wanting to talk to us about what it is. They're expressing how much we inspire them. And it's
yeah, that sounds real humble, dude.
Love from law enforcement all over the country and at all levels. FBI, you know, the NYPD, LAPD, and, you know, reservation representatives, and so forth. And it's great. You know,
you have a challenge.
You sound so humble right now.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that we need to get. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I let Jared know. He's probably listening over here somewhere.
Yeah, he's listening over there. He's out shopping for an Airstream, I hope.
Yeah,
Jared, you need to get these guys some challenge coins. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know, we solved the case in Russellville, Arkansas. There was a really big case, Samantha Hopper and her 2 children. The attorney general then turned around and took that as a teaching moment. She invited me to come down and conduct a training symposium for the entire state. And, you know, I held a PowerPoint presentation and placed video on ours, how we do what we do, why we do it, the methods that we use, and just showcased what it is that we're capable of so that they know we're a resource, but also so they can learn from us as well. Because it's unorthodox at times and it's out of the box.
Wow,
and
sound even more humble now.
Really the key with what we're able to do is explaining our lack of red tape and how that helps us be a resource. And you know, sometimes red tape does prevent a lot of things. And so that's the power of a good example of what is facilitating.
The red tape prevents you from overstepping your boundaries and interfering with an open investigation. That's what the red tape does.
Paradigm switch and embracing, because we're able to do the private sector has always been known for creating results that the normal sector cannot, or the normal sector does not want to have their hands involved in, and that's a whole rabbit hole we don't have to go in. But it in that whole scenario, it's not new. But you know,
when I think other people, yeah, and I think the public also has to realize that one of the reasons you guys work with the family is the other side of this is you cannot be an agent to the agency.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, then, you know, you're going to put your hand up in more courtrooms across the country than you've ever imagined. Okay. That you have to go into it completely 100%, you know, risk-free to do just what you said, Doug, to do all the things that you do. Okay. And then let the evidence flow from there in terms of what you guys have discovered. Okay? Yeah. That's the goal.
Okay. That's about as much of this as I can take. I'm just going to look over chat for a minute here. Yeah, like I can only listen to so much autofellatio that there's only so much of it that I can listen to. Ridiculous. The glamour, does mocking and putting people down make you feel like a big man? Yes, they get money for what they do. So do you. Difference is AWP is helping families. Who are you helping? I'm helping families. I'm helping the families that they're victimizing. Yeah. I'm helping families of such as Jagger's family, Kylie's family, because these guys have done nothing but exploit them. Now, yes, they found Kylie, but they used it for a means to exploit them. So kiss my ass with that shit. between the two of us, I'm the voice for the victims because I'm calling out their irresponsibility, misusing their platform. That's what I do here. It's what I've always done here. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. You know, I mean, I can't do nothing for you. I've totally been skipping the gym. Thanks for noticing, by the way. That's funny, sus lady. Thank you. That's awesome. I agree, Tia Louise. It cancels it out. That's the new word of the day, Monica M. See, there you go. Well, a lot of people don't know what fellatio is, Cherry. You know, not everybody's as you know, as you are. Oh, I'm gonna take a stab in the dark here. Let's see. I'm gonna take a guess here. Oh, that's amazing. She's not live right now. Let's watch a short video.
With their fleet.
Okay, so I'm just going to do some short pre-recorded of some of the news clips I wanted to go through on lives. I kept trying, but it's hard because everybody always wants something different. So I end up doing like panels or doing other stuff. So I will have to just do them pre-recorded. But yeah, so there'll just be random clips. There's like little...
Yeah, I usually do live streams for about 8 to 9 hours. You know, just to exploit a dead girl after her mom requested that nobody does that. I'm going to do something real quick because I never actually went over this. But I'm going to read something that I think resonates very well with me before I continue that video. So my friend Annie put up a community post a few days ago. She got a lot of backlash for it. Annie from 10 to Life. I don't know if she took it down or not. I don't think she took it down. Nope, it's still here. So 6 days ago, she put up this post saying, I've been debating sharing my thoughts on this for a while, but now I feel it's necessary. I find it disheartening and pretty gross that so many creators are posting videos daily or going live for hours on end every single day regarding the Kylie Rodney case, especially when there are no new developments or news to be shared. If there are press conferences, updates, new revelations, and I want to be clear before I continue reading this, she's not picking out anybody in particular. She's not targeting anybody in particular with this post. There's not only Zav Girl here, but there's a bunch of channels that are doing this. She's speaking very generally here, so I don't want anybody, spreading a rumor that she's targeting one particular creator and just not naming names. That's not what she's doing here. This is happening all over YouTube, and she's speaking up on what she's seeing. especially when there are no new developments or news to be shared. If there are press conferences, updates, new revelations, or you're in direct contact with a family member, then sure, have at it, go nuts. But there haven't been any of those things for a while now. So to push content out just for the sake of pushing it out because it's a popular case and will get a lot of views feels a lot like exploiting, which it actually is, absolutely is. Some may argue that every true crime channel exploits tragedy to some degree, even mine, but to take it to these lengths is wrong and unethical in my opinion. I agree. Doing so only further sensationalizes the situation and opens more doors for people to now critique a grieving mother's every word, push outlandish theories that make zero sense, and continue the social media storm. The very thing Kylie's mother has requested stop. By no means am I saying to stop covering the case. Not at all. When updates occur or new info is released, 100% turn the mic back on. To fellow creators who I respect and support, I ask that you please show compassion and remember why we do what we do. Why we do what we do in the true crime community. Our coverage is to help victims find answers and support grieving families. This is quickly becoming the opposite of that. This post isn't intended to bash anybody specific or create drama. I don't have a problem with anybody, creator or otherwise. It's intended to raise awareness and help all of us step back a little bit so we can see more clearly in how helpful or unhelpful our actions are, including my own. We're all learning together. There is so many other victims and cases that need a voice right now. Let's focus on those as we continue to wait for updates in the Kylie case. Kisses, Annie. So now she may not be calling anybody out, but I am. Specifically this jackass here.
Little bits and pieces of like Sammy interviews that aren't the ones that I played previously. They're like the parts of the interview, but different parts that are basically just different parts of interviews that maybe that you haven't seen that aren't grouped with the bigger parts of the interviews and some of the mom's interviews and just some random clips that I just wanted to share with you guys. I'll probably be checking in a little bit depending on what I find here because I'm going through them kind of as I'm editing. So the first clip is going to be just a little clip of one of Sammy's interviews and then a clip of a part of Kylie's mom's interview.
I was one of the last people with Kylie, and I am just desperate to do anything that I can to bring her home.
The 16-year-old told her mom, Lindsay, she'd be home by 12:30 Saturday morning, but she never came home. Her car nowhere to be found, and her phone turned off.
She's always so good about checking in and just letting me know where she is, and I haven't heard from her, and so it's just scary when you don't know when your kid is.
Detectives with the Placer County Sheriff's Office have been combing through the Placer family campground since the teen's disappearance, with crews from Nevada County Sheriff and the FBI called in to help. This as friends and family have been holding search parties of their own.
Like she just made a compilation of shit that we've seen 100 times already.
Make sure that we're doing everything that we possibly can to try and find her.
We at least feel like we're not alone, which I think is the very best thing that we could feel in such a scary situation.
The sheriff's office says because her car can't be located, it's now investigating the case as a possible abduction.
We urge anybody who is at that party Friday evening to please come forward with any information that could lead us to Kylie. We believe out of the 200 to 300 juveniles and young adults who were at that party, somebody must know something.
And her family says a $50,000 reward is being offered for that information they hope leads to her safety.
Everybody's like, I can't believe nobody came forward. I can't believe nobody came forward. That's the common consensus, right? The general consensus is I can't believe at that party nobody knows anything. Well, why would anybody know anything if it was an accident? Maybe that's an indication, a further indication that it was an accident, that she drove out of there and then drove her car in the pitch black into a body of water. Nobody knew about it. It's a party, it's loud, nobody heard the car go in. Her phone stops pinging 50 yards from the body of water. So, I mean, why is it so difficult to just simply come to the conclusion until there's more information that it was an accident? Why do people want to create a dramatic situation? Why? Because it gets them views. Like, imagine what that puts her family through.
Safe return.
She just graduated high school at 16 with high honors. She's so intelligent and beautiful and just such a kind and wonderful person.
All right, just checking in. I was thinking about doing a compilation of all of Kylie's mom's interviews. Would that be something you guys be interested in? Okay, so the next clip is going to have a little bit of the Magdalene interview. So, and then it just has a little bit of that music celebration that they did.
Kylie's best friend Magdalene, who's assisting the search, spoke to our Sacramento affiliate.
I just want her to come back and be okay. And
like, why are you making compilation videos of these interviews when she was found? Like, especially of her mom. Why would you want to make a compilation video of her mom's interviews? What kind of shit is that? Like, what good comes from that? What possible good can come from that?
And just to know that she's loved.
Over the weekend, Rodney's hometown of Truckee, California, coming together for a concert in her honor.
Country for Kylie is about hope. It is about community. It is about keeping our spirits high.
Okay, so the next clip has an interview with her mom, Kylie's mom. I've never actually seen it before, so maybe it'll be new for you guys too.
This morning, new clues in the desperate search for 16-year-old Kylie Rodney as authorities announce a new phase of their investigation.
We are moving into a more limited but continuous search and rescue effort. We are going to have to switch modes and kind of focus on the investigative end and try to figure out where do we go from there.
The Placer County Sheriff's Office saying the night she went missing on August 5th, Kylie was seen in a video wearing this white sweatshirt with pink writing covered in the words "Odd Future." Last week, investigators said the missing teen was likely in possession of a different sweatshirt seen here with eerie lyrics saying, "You don't want to be forgotten, you just want to disappear."
I recognize both sweatshirts. The darker one belongs to her best friend. The lighter one is something that I've seen her wear time and time again. Being out with friends before, have maybe seen that, my friend was cold and then, oh, hey, here, you take this sweatshirt, and knowing that I have another one in the car to go and change.
Kylie was last seen at Prosser Family Campground near
Or
Lake
she spilled a drink on one and changed it into another.
Tahoe, the site of a party she attended with hundreds of other teens, where there was reportedly underage drinking taking place. The last known ping from her cell phone was around 12:30 a.m. Rodney was seen on surveillance
Underage drinking, which takes place at fucking literally every party.
Hours before the party. As the FBI combs through the more than 1,200 tips, authorities have pursued
every party with minors, pretty much, for the most part.
Leads, including digging up a burial site near the Prosser Family Campground, only to find the remains of a dog.
I imagine there's obviously relief knowing that she wasn't found there, but then also anguish knowing that, you still haven't found Kylie.
Yeah, it's important to hold on to hope. It's okay to feel sad and frustrated. It's okay to feel this anguish.
Rodney's car, a 2013 silver Honda CR-V, also missing. Because of this, authorities are still treating this as a possible abduction case. Kylie's best friend Magdalene determined to find her.
I'm just really scared for her.
Like, all of this shit is so old, yet she put this up today. Like, this was made and put up today.
Gotta find her.
And Kylie's mother says the last text message that she received from Kylie was that she would be straight home. That was about 1 hour before Kylie's cell phone last pinged near a lake.
So anybody know who that is? I know people have pointed her out, but anybody figure out who that is?
Does it matter?
They're searching on foot, by air, and
completely
on water.
irrelevant.
Rodney was reportedly last seen on Friday night at a party near
let me point out somebody else and get my fucking thousands of people who watch this shit, who are fucking drama tragedy junkies, to start spinning a narrative and start spinning theories in their head, and then start fucking rumors about this unknown person who just happened to be caught on camera in a news interview. Just happened to be caught on camera. So let's find out who this girl is, so we can start, so we have a new person to start pointing fingers at. Great.
Near the Prosser Family Campground. The Placer County Sheriff's Office says her phone has been out of service since Friday night, so police are not able to trace her that way.
Love to be the thing that opens in the door.
Oh, shut
Maybe I've been naive before, but I'm not anymore.
This should be
Did you know that you can make a full-time income from YouTube without ever trying to grow your own channel?
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you two things that I actually mentioned or talked about and showed in my live last night. But for the people that either missed it in the live, because I do long lives, I know, and some people, aren't able to watch the whole live, or some of my viewers
don't. You do infinite fucking lives.
Watch the live, they like to pre-recorded. So I thought I would include these two things because I think they could potentially be important. So let me know what you guys think. So the first one is somebody pointed out actually Kylie's bracelets that she had on, and that Sammy had the same bracelets on in the hot tub TikTok that she posted. So we were going through the hot tub TikTok and realized you don't get a very good view of the bracelets. You could kind of see, but you kind of make out maybe what Sammy's wearing. But then as we're going through another news clip, not even paying attention, somebody, was it Amanda? I think it was Amanda S. Vita points out, wait, there's the bracelets. You could see them in the video of Sammy when she's pointing in the news clip.
You can't even tell what kind of bracelets those are.
So they are the same. It does look like two of them are the same that Kylie was wearing. I personally just think it's a coincidence. Maybe the friends have the same style and jewelry. It could mean something. I'm not saying that it does.
They're not even.
I think if Sammy,
what the fuck are you talking about?
What happened to Kylie? Then you wouldn't think that she would take her bracelets and then wear them.
Dude, when I was in high school, man, and in middle school, there were these things called friendship bracelets, right? You get threads and then you can like weave them together, and girls would just sit around. I mean, like every girl was doing this. They had to put books, like when they were sitting in class and there was nothing going on, the teacher was fucking sleeping. You know, girls would sit there and they'd use the book to hold the thing down, and they would sit there and weave these little bracelets, and they were called friendship bracelets. And they would just give them out, and everybody was wearing them. And that doesn't seem like a very different scenario to me, like at all. Why the fuck is that being made a focus? See, this is the kind of thing that makes life difficult for someone who's just merely trying to mourn their friend in peace, and no consideration for them at all. None. Like, it's Northern California. Everybody there's a fucking hippie, dude. Of course there's going to be homemade bracelets.
In a video, but I thought I would at least make a video on it because I'm getting sent a lot of emails about it.
Yeah, a girl made me one in middle school, and I had it on my ankle for like fucking 2 years until it finally just fucking fell off. And she probably made another one just like it. You know what I mean? Like what's the implication? That's what I want to know. What's the implication of having the same bracelet? If they're already established as friends, what's the implication of them having the same bracelet? I don't understand. That Sammy killed her and took the bracelet? Is that the implication? Makes no sense. To just get thousands of clueless motherfuckers to get their fucking wheels turning. It's ridiculous, dude.
Did you see this? Did you see that? It happens a lot where what I'm showing in the live, it gets sent back to me. I just laugh though. It's kind of funny. But so yeah, I figured I'd at least show it, address it, and see what you guys think.
Dude, when people come to me with shit like that, because make no mistake, I get emails and fucking Instagram messages and Twitter messages all the time from people that are like, did you notice this? And then I just ignore them. I blow them off because I'm like, that's a fucking, that could just be a coincidence. I'm not going to use that shit for content because it's good, because it could create something that is unhealthy. It could create something that could get somebody who's mourning and having a harder time. Like, I'm not going to contribute to that. Because I might get a couple of super chats. Like, that's fucking crazy, dude. Like, I totally ignore those messages. I'm like, I see that, and did you notice this? And I'm just like, oh god.
There, it's like a black hat. Is that a SF hat? I can't tell. I'm gonna zoom in, and that's Sammy talking to him. You guys recognize either of them? The one looks more like the description with that black hat. Is that SF? And then I don't know the other guy. Do you recognize either of them?
Like, this kind of shit gives those kids a hard time, man. Why are you trying to sick your fucking dogs on these guys who just happen to be standing there and are probably volunteering their help to search for Kylie at the time? Leave these motherfuckers alone, dude.
Looking out for Kylie and Kylie's car.
Okay, so you'll get a good look at her bracelets in this part, and also look at that bruise on her right arm. It'll be her right arm, like forearm.
Right now. Is anybody willing to go to Reno and maybe Midtown? Yeah.
And I know we've pointed this bruise out multiple times, but I just wanted to point it out again.
Perfect.
Along with her bracelets.
Sammy Smith, one of Kylie's good
fucking what?
friends, is organizing crews of community members who are looking for the teen across the Tahoe region. Glenshire. These flyers are posted in neighborhoods, downtown Truckee, and at campsites.
So this is where everybody's hanging out. Kylie and I were meeting up right here a lot.
Local young people call this open area near the Prosser family campground the Sanctuary. It's a common place for parties.
Okay, wait. So is that Steve Ross in the back with the glasses? And the guy driving, is that the guy we just was looking at the search area where she was talking to him? And could that be a SF hat? Yeah, I think that's him. He was talking to him earlier. He has his sunglasses on, and here he has them over his hat. And then the guy in the middle, I'm not sure, but I think the guy where you could just see a little part of him.
Sav girl, you are a grade A asshole.
Maybe that is Steve Ross. And then the one in the back of the car looks like it could be kind of.
Sammy says she was here with Kylie Friday night, along with tons of other high school and college kids from the Bay Area all the way to Nevada.
Okay,
and then what she does, she does this shit and goes, is that a bruise? I noticed this bruise. I noticed this bruise. And then when she's confronted about it, right? Well, I didn't do anything. All I did was point out a bruise. Well, no, asshole. What you did was you got the thousands of people who watch you fucking wheels turning because you are implying something. You're implying something. And what you're implying, I'll spell it out for you because you know exactly what the fuck you're doing. You're implying that there was a struggle and Kylie met her demise in a struggle with Sammy somehow. That's what you're implying. Just because you're not outright saying it does not make you innocent in what you're doing. You're sitting there going, I don't know. I'm just saying there was a bruise. I don't know. I'm not responsible for what people think.
It was with her that she was talking to in that search area that I showed you earlier, right here. Okay, so look. This is the same guy, same clothes, same day, probably, I'm sure. Same shirt, same shorts, same socks. Okay, so then we have this guy. I'm not sure who this guy is. Then we could see this guy's blue hat right here. And then this is a different guy right here because this guy has that green shirt. So all we see kind of his blue hat and a little bit of his arm right there, right? And then Steve Ross right here, you could see his arm. You could see a part of his greenish, whatever.
Because
color shorts.
It's not just them that's the problem. The real problem is the fact that people click on this shit and invest so much into it. The real problem is that people fucking look at this shit and watch these videos and act like they're doing some good with them because they want to like sit around and sleuth because they want to be Scooby-Doo and fucking solve the crime that didn't even fucking take place. Like, that's the real problem. Like, her viewers, her no life having motherfucking viewers who can actually sit around and watch this garbage for 8 hours at a time. Like, those are the real problem. Those people are the real problem. Because if nobody was watching or feeding into this shit, well, then she wouldn't even bother. She's only doing this shit because people are enabling her to do it. And they're paying her.
White shirt.
Because people have no standards. These are the same type of people who will sit around and watch fucking Jerry Springer marathons. You know what I mean? Like, they'll just sit around and watch fucking Jerry Springer marathons and fucking those stupid commercials. Call J.G. Whitworth. 877 cash now. Like, all day fucking long. Like, all day long. It's unbelievable to me, dude. Like, these are these low life idiots that will just sit there and watch that crap all fucking day long. Fucking Pillow King commercials, just fucking all day. Fucking Judge Mathis.
See his white socks and black shoes. So Sammy was here at the search area, which I'm sure it's somewhere probably at the Prosser campground. I'm not sure where they set up, to be honest, but this is actually at the sanctuary. So,
dude, you know why they show like technical school commercials like all day long? Everything is a target demographic. Okay. You know why? If you're sitting for, I'm going to give you guys a little tip. Okay. If you're sitting around all day long watching this crap, right? And you see a commercial for a technical school, that's a hint. That means get up off your lazy fucking ass and go fucking learn a trade. Like that's a hint. They're targeting you because you're a fucking loser that's laying around on your couch all goddamn day channel surfing. That's the target demographic. Just giving you a tip.
He went with this group of guys who she was talking to here, and they go together to the sanctuary where they do the news clip. And this was the party site.
Right now, our estimate is about 200 to 250, maybe more.
What she and Kylie's family want to know is how no one saw her leave in her silver Honda CRV. Her car is still missing.
I can't believe it. There has to have been one person. There are people sitting in cars. There are people everywhere around this place.
I'm begging you to be kind.
It's my money and I need it now. Like, think about it. Think about the commercials that they show on these on during the day when you're fucking sitting around, laying on your couch, fucking farting into your pillows. Like, when you're doing that all goddamn day, the commercials that you're watching are technical school commercials and fucking ambulance chaser commercials. Because they know that you're too fucking lazy to go out and get a goddamn fucking job. So what they do is they target losers like you to fucking go out and sue somebody and hire them to sue somebody so you can continue to lay around on your fucking fat ass farting into your pillow and not doing jack shit with yourself. That's what they do. Like, take the hint. And if you're sitting around all goddamn day watching fucking Zav Girl for 8 fucking hours, you're one of those fucking losers. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks so much. I love you guys, and we'll do this again very soon, my friends.